Hello and welcome to another episode of News Connect on City TV. Today we're talking about textiles, fabrics. Do you prefer to buy your clothes already made, or are you buying and sewing your clothes like you used to? My name is Melissa Awad. This is News Connect for City TV. Stay tuned. Are you buying fabrics these days, or because I see you're in already made clothes, unless you went to get this made?
No.
All right. So do you still buy fabric material?
Yes, I do. I do buy fabric materials. Usually for outing purposes. Usually it's just strictly work-based.
Okay.
Yeah, but for Saturday commitments, church, weddings,
Funeral.
yeah, I do buy my fabrics out. Yeah, I do buy fabrics. Yeah.
Do you prefer to sew your traditional attire, or do you prefer the already made foreign clothes?
Well, it depends. Sewing my traditional attire look good on me, It look good because I show the tailor my style. But at times when you go to buy this, you have to do alteration, and it's also quite expensive. But it's like buying the material, going to the tailor, delaying time and all that. That is why most of the times we do buy these already made clothes. Yeah.
So what inspired you, because you are African woman, but what has inspired you when you saw some of the Ghanaian fabrics? What inspired you to purchase those?
I think it's the design. For me, it's the design, the colors, and then it's good to support our African people when it comes to fashion or any kind of designs.
Oh, what do you prefer, though? Do you prefer to sew and sew your traditional attire, or are you more comfortable in already made clothes?
Okay, I prefer the traditional attire because it's kind of customized, to suit my taste. Probably give my design to the designer. They don't prefer to be called tailors these days, so yeah. So to my designer, and you kind of feel good. Yeah, you might buy it already made and it might not fit. Eventually, you have to go and alter and all that. So it's best to go with the fabric, get your designer to work on something nice for you. Then yeah, you're good.
What's your preference, if you have a preference? Made in Africa, let's just say made in Africa goods, whichever country it's from, or already made?
Made in Africa, obviously, of course, because you stand out. Because like in the West, the made in Africa is not common there. And when we wear our African costumes or any kind of designs, they admire us more. But we don't value the African culture. Not kind of like saying culture, our own fashion, our own designs. We don't value it. I don't know why, but the people in the West, they love what we have. And we love what they have. I think we should start supporting more Africans and then push them out there so we can have our own African designs all over the world.
But what do you prefer, sewing your attire or your already made clothes?
Okay, as my dear brother said, it depends. Sometimes if it's too costly, we look up to the other option. So any of them works. If I can go out and sew a new clothes for myself, I think I'll do that. But if it's too costly and I can get an already made, I think it's okay too.
Looking back some years ago, we used to do a lot of already made stuff. Then it started with this whole asasa thing where the lady started this patching with various materials. Then I think it caught up. Then the introduction of this local Friday wear also seemed to boost the local fabric. And I think the fabric industry is doing well now. We seem to be buying a lot of fabric these days. But like I said, it can only get better. I think the market is still in the testing phase. It's not really permeated like the way I want it to be. And I think with more reorientation, I think it can get better. You and I are pretty sure. The whole Wakanda thing, you see how everybody was so into the whole Wakanda because it was all African. So I'm sure more public orientation will also help deepen our appreciation of our local fabric, if I should put it. Yeah.
I don't normally sew, but I sew on occasionally. Maybe I'm going to a wedding or a funeral or outdoor or something like an event. Yeah. Something like that, I will sew. Do
you prefer the African attire, or do you prefer the already made?
I prefer the African attire. That for me, going to buy the fabric itself and give it to my designer to sew it for me I prefer that.
So what about the cost? Because some people are saying it's actually now getting expensive to sew clothes versus buying already made. Has that been your experience? Which one is more cost effective for you?
They are already made. You see, it depends. Everyone with his or her mind, or his or her her choice. Is you. So I prefer sewing it myself. I don't care the cost. Is you. I will sew it. Is you. I don't care the cost. I will sew it.
But you said that you have to have a reason, so you only really sew for occasions. So then does that mean that you're not really inspired to just sew? Like, you have to have a reason. Should we have to have a reason to go and sew our traditional?
Not necessarily that we have to have a reason, but African textile must be promoted. You see, we must buy our made in Ghana goods. We have to buy our fabric. I mean, it's good. It's nice looking on us. It's not all the time that we'll be wearing white, foreign clothes or white stuff like that. I mean, it's unfair. That means we are bringing down our textile industry, which is unfair. So at least I prefer that we should be wearing those kind of fabrics or those kind of attire to look good on us. And secondly, also, our leaders have to show example to us. We, the citizens, you see, they have to show good examples. Every day they have to wear African wear. Because if they are saying that, we should patronize made in Ghana goods, we should buy made in Ghana goods, we should wear made in Ghana goods, they have to be wearing it every day and night. You see, so that if we are seeing on them and they are saying it, then we can also replicate them, or we can also copy them and do the same. Because if you are telling me I should do this and you are not doing it, what are you telling me, or what are you portraying to show me now?
That's definitely true. I do agree with him, because when you look at the leaders, like in parliament or whatever, not all the time they're wearing the African costumes. Our presidents, our ministers, members of parliament, they have to lead by example. You're wearing a suit, you don't see them wearing an African costume all the time. You understand? And then we go to China, we buy Chinese stuff and bring it. It's all over the place. Everybody's wearing all kind of designs from the Chinese. But I've never seen a Chinese wearing an African costume. Because they're not proud of what we are creating, but we are proud of what they are creating. So the world is changing. We are not teaching the younger ones that we have to stick to our African costumes. And when the younger ones see us doing it, they will follow suit. But everybody wants to wear Dolce & Gabbana, Louis Vuitton and all this. It's a Chinese product. They're using us.
Would you prefer to see us wearing more traditional out in the daytime like this?
Yeah, I prefer. Because patronizing our own goods, you shouldn't forget that we want to grow the economy, meaning the money will remain here. But so far as you continue buying these already made goods from outside, meaning we keep on importing, sending the money away. Quite recently we were having challenges with our city. That the city is hitting almost 5 cities. So these are some of the factors that we have to, publicity count. It all depends on you, the media. Made in Ghana, when we patronize our own goods, come on. Because I have all my church attires, fabrics. So I don't know whether the fabric is made here or from outside. You understand? So I think we should patronize our own goods for the economy to grow, so that we all, enjoy, we don't want to see the country in this state, understand? Yes. So if you ask me, yes, I wish we should patronize our own goods. Yeah, because quite recently, we also see the president now, wherever he goes, he wears this made in Ghana to, portray our culture. That is okay. It's a nice step in a good direction.
So that's it for another episode of News Connect on City TV.